Hello, hello! Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to play with a lot of Rimmel products. I'm going to do almost full face of Rimmel products. I have to be honest, I already filmed this video, but somehow all the footage got corrupted in some way. I just couldn't render it properly. So yeah, I couldn't upload the video. So it's not like a first impression. I have an impression of these products already, and maybe that's a good thing. I will explain when I get to the product I am referring to. But yeah, I'm going to do a full face. I've got the primers, I've got foundation, I've got eyeshadows, I've got mascaras, bronzers, the lot. So I'm going to try it all out and I'm going to let you know what I think about it. Also, it's quite warm here today, so I'm going to leave my window open. That's over there. And there are some seagulls flying around and cooing and cawing. So if you hear them, then I'm sorry. But if I close the window, I'm going to sweat too much in my face and I won't be able to test out the foundation. So yeah, let's jump into this video and see what this Rimmel stuff is all about. Okay, I've zoomed you in a little bit so you can see my eyes and what I'm doing a little bit better. What I've done, I have primed my eyes with the Paint Pot Soft Ochre by MAC. And then I set the base with this little Project Pen white shadow. So yeah, that is really always what I do before I apply eyeshadow. So I just thought I'm going to do the same thing as I would usually do to see how this really performs. I got this eyeshadow palette. It's the Magnif'Eyes Wow edition, and it's, I think, a very lovely palette. It's just that it's all shimmer, and you don't really have that much of a transition shade to work with. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a transition shade out of my one of my Project Pen palettes. This one by MAC, the Semi-Sweet ×9, and I'm just going to use. I think I'm just going to use this shade, and I maybe deepen it up with this one. So I'm going to do that, and then I will be back and we're going to dive into the shadows of the palette. Alright, that's all done and dusted, so I'm going to dig into this palette, and what I'm going to use are these two shades, the green ones, and then I'm going to do this color on the inner corner. I've already done this look and I really like it. I really like the color scheme, so I'm going to do that today. I've also tried out these two and this one. I think the other day, I don't know, I think a few days ago I've tried these, and these are really, really pretty as well. But yeah, the green is really calling to me, and I might deepen up the look with this one. It may look a little crazy, but we're going to see. So I'm going to start with this color in my outer corner. They don't really have names, so it's just olivey brown, olivey green color. And I'm going to use a Smith, what's it called? 253 brush. That's this one. That's this one with the arrowhead type of head brush thing. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to lay it down on the outer corner, and as you can see, it packs a bit of a punch. It's a very beautiful olivey type color, and I really like this for my outer corner because it's deep enough to really give your look some structure, but it's not too much. So if you want to keep it a little bit light, then you can. I just really like the cooler hue and shade of this, and it's like there's somewhat of a goldy shift to it. I don't know for sure, but it looks a bit like that. I totally forgot to tell you, but this eyeshadow palette comes with this little brush. You have this shader type, not really blending, more of a shader type brush on one side, and the plasticky foamy one on the other side. You can apply your shimmers with the foamy one. I've tried it. It doesn't really make a difference if you use a brush or that foamy thing. So yeah, I'm going to dig into this lighter green, and I'm just going to put it all over my lid. And what I've learned with this one is that it stands out nicely, but if you pack it on with your finger, it's going to help it along a lot more. So I'm going to just lay the groundwork down, and I'm going to show you what I mean by using my finger. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I think so, yeah. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with my finger And I'm going to tap it on, and it makes it a little bit more foiled and bright, so it pops out a little bit more than when you just use a brush. So yeah, you can use your fingers with this. I haven't wet my, yeah I did, last time I wet my brush and that didn't really make a difference. So the best thing is just applying it with your fingers if you want more of an impact on your eyes. But without the impact, I think it looks really nice as well. So I'm going to do the inner corner now, or the inner part of my lid, and I'm looking for a brush. I'm going to use another Smith 253 brush because I just like the arrowhead type of shape for my inner corner. And I'm using this, I'm sorry, I'm going to show you. I'm using this color. You can't really see it. Oh yeah, you can see it. It's a bit of a very light salmon type color, and I think it goes really nice with the green. It's the same with this shade. I've tried to wet it the last time I used it, and it didn't really make a difference. So what I'm going to do is just take it on my pinky finger and see if that will do something. Oh yeah, yeah. The fingers really do help with applying these shadows. See, it's a nice combo, the softer green with the salmony type shade. So yeah, I really enjoy this color scheme, and as I said, the blue combination also really works very well. It's a very pretty palette. Okay, just on my finger, and I'm going to tap it, press it on like this. It's so easy, it's so quick, and I really like it. It's for an everyday look. This is fine. This is really nice. And you can, if you want to, smoke out any look with this palette, because there's this dark, like almost like a black, ooh, can you see that? Like a black shimmer shade. So you can, if you want to, you can really deepen up the look, but I'm not going to do that because I really like the soft hues on this. Okay, I'm going to blend this out a little bit more. I'm just going to use my MAC, what's it, 224S brush, and just going to blur a bit of the edges so it looks a little bit more polished, like so. I'm done. It's so easy. I was thinking maybe I will use I have a eyeliner in a brown color, so I think I'm going to use that to give my lash line some definition instead of another color in the palette, because I don't think that this color is really going to go that well with the rest, and I think I'm going to just disturb the nice soft feel I have now with this shade. So I'm going to get that, and I'm going to yeah, show you how it applies. Okay, I had to look for it a little because I already have had this pencil in my collection. It's a kohl pencil, soft kohl pencil, in the color, what's it called? Matita Ochi. That can be it. Oh, in brown. Seriously, dude. In brown. It's the shade brown. It's sharp enough, and I've warmed it up a little bit on my hand, so I'm just going to line very close to the lash line, because I think I don't need a very deep line or a very big line. It's just to give my lash line some definition because of the softer colors. You see what it does already? It gives my look just a little bit more structure. So I'm going to apply this. It glides on really easily, especially when you warmed it up a little bit on your hand. And I think if I'm done, I'm going to smoke it out a little, but I will be back for that. So just a sec. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, this line got a little bit thicker, and that is because the point got a little crumbly. I don't know if you can see that, but there's, yeah, it's just a very soft pencil. So I think if you want to have a very perfect line, you have to sharpen it between applications, because this one is really nice and this one is really bold. But I am going to smoke that out a little with my Sigma E65, I think. Yeah, my E65. I'm just going to smoke this out a bit by, oh, I have to keep it like this. Just by blending it a little just some smudge action, and I'm not going to do that all the way to my inner corner, but just on the outskirts, like so. Same as done on this side. Never pull your lids. That's not a good thing to do, but mine are so crepey that I have to, because otherwise I won't get any grip. Well, yeah, I'm done. I'm happy with the look as is. I will be... No, I'm not done, guys. Seriously, I'm not done. I am going to highlight my brow, and I'm going to use this shade. This is a very white and silvery almost, but it's not extremely... I've really been rubbing it in, and it's not really that opaque. So I hope it's not going to be too much. Going to see. I'm putting it on my Morphe E36 brush, and the reason why this little thing is on there is because I always use this one for my brow bone and inner corner highlight, and I have two others I use for darker colors for smudging the under lash line. So that's why I put this thing on, so I recognize that this is the one I use the lighter colors with, because if I don't clean them, which I don't, well, it does pack a punch, guys. I don't clean my brushes every day when I've used them, especially when I use them for almost the same type of shades. It's very frosty, but it does its job. I don't know if it's really something I like, because I think if it has a bit of a more golden tone, I would like it a little bit more. But yeah, it does its job. It's brightening. So yeah, I'm going to leave this. I'm going to go into mascara, and then I am going to do my base, and then I'm going to do the rest of my eyes, so the inner corner and the lower lash line. So yeah, I will be back with mascara. This is the mascara I picked up, and I picked up this one because I think it's a new one. It's the Wonderluxe Volume. And it gives you full-bodied and cared for lashes. The only thing is the wand is really weird. It's like it's really cooped up, and it has only the bigger spikes on one side. So you really have to see how you want to hold the brush for the best kind of application. It has a very dry formula, so it doesn't really catch onto your lashes that easily. And the wand is not easy to work with to get all the product on your lashes. So that's a thing. It's quite easy if you've already tried a lot of the product. You can really tell how it will perform. I'm going to comb my lashes, and then I'm going to apply the mascara. Okay. I'm getting all the goop off of the point because I don't want to have a lot of a mess. I'm going to try to hold it like this, so I've got the most out of the longer bristles. But I think application is really difficult because I'm making a mess already. And as you can see, it doesn't really want to catch onto my lashes that well. This mascara is seriously, I didn't like it. I'm glad I had to do this thing again. So I had a 2-time use out of it, because I am not going to keep this. I'm not even going to pan it, I'm just going to toss it. I'm sorry. Because seriously, who has time for bad mascara? I don't. Not going to waste my time, product and health or mental state every morning on the bloody mascara. I'm just going to throw it out. So yeah, this is just annoying. I'm applying it. The last time I did this, I tried to get another coat on, so I'm going to do that again. You'll see that it changes the volume of the lashes a little bit. You see what is happening in my inner, well, not the inner corner, but just the smaller lashes in my inner corner. It's messy AF, because seriously, it's so gooped up that I am just spilling this stuff all over the place. And I don't know about you, but I think that's a bit annoying. So yeah, I'm going to do a second layer, and then we're going to see if that is doing anything. What I'm also noticing is that my lashes fall down. They don't keep a curl. And you know, granted, they don't claim that they will use that they will get a curl or keep a curl. Curl. I don't know why that's such a difficult word for me to say, but it is. So yeah, but it's really weird because the wand feels really gooped up with product, but it's like you almost can't really deposit it on your lashes. This is what happens. It's messy and my curl falls flat. I'm sorry. Dud. Okay, we're going to jump into the base products. I'm going to start off with my Fix and Perfect Makeup Primer. This is in the shade or type 002. And it's a Pro Multi-Action Primer that is going to leave my skin smoother, resurfaced, brightened, mattified and protected. So let's do that. I really enjoyed this primer last time, but I used a little bit too much, and I think that's the reason why my foundation stayed really tacky. So I'm going to try and use a little bit less this time. There's all this mascara over my hands. Okay, I'm going to use a pea-size amount and I'm going to rub it in. I didn't use anything else other than skincare, and although this smells really nice, it smells a little bit like the big the Nivea cream in the big blue tins. I don't know if you have that in your country. Yeah, this feels a lot better now. It's really but it smells like the Nivea and the tints, I'm sorry. Yeah, I've used a lot less. I think I used double the amount the last time I used this. And now it feels a lot more normal. It feels really soft, tiny bit tacky. So I think that if you just leave it for 30 seconds, it will get more drawn into your skin. But yeah, it's a nice smell and it's a nice texture, I have to say. And you can really blend it out easily. And I think I'm going to zoom you out because I'm doing complexion. I don't need to be so zoomed in. Just a sec. Okay, I've just zoomed you out a little bit, as you can see. Just it's easier for me to show you what I'm doing with my complexion. So yeah, I'm going to leave this for a bit. I'm going to tell you what type of foundation I got. I got the Lasting Finish Breathable Foundation, and it claims to have a 25-hour wear. I'm not going to test that because I'm not going to leave makeup up for 25 hours. It has an SPF of 20 and it's a medium coverage foundation. And this is this shade Soft Beige, and that is also 200. It has 30 mils in it and 1 fluid ounce. And I think it was around 16 euros, something like that. I'm going to link all the information down in the description box. I don't know if the prices are going to be an indication of how much these products are going to cost in your country, because that just differs. So yeah, I will put them down, but don't hold me to them. Okay, I'm going to apply this. I've shaken it because that's also always something I do. There's a very big doe foot applicator in here, and I'm just going to smear this one dip out over my face, and then I'm going to blend it in. I think this is a really good shade match for me, so I'm glad that I got a good shade match right off the bat. I'm going to use a brush to apply, just smooth everything out, and then I'm going to use my beauty blender to let it really sink into the skin and maybe add some more coverage if we need it. And this is just a Suiva foundation brush. It's a 1021, and I have 2 of these in my collection because I really love them. At the moment I am working on a video about my favorite brushes, and I think I'm going to make it a 2-parter because I've started with the face brushes, and yeah, I'm already in a very long list, and I think it's going to take me a long time to tell you why and to give you the right information about all the brushes. So I think I'm going to do face and eyes separate from each other, but just leave me a comment down below if that is something you would be interested in, and if it's okay if I make that a 2-parter. Last time I applied this, my nose was doing a lot better than it's doing right now. it is a little patchier. But that could also be because I'm a little bit warm and sweating a little. So I'm going to put a good amount on my nose, my cheeks, because I want a little bit more coverage over there, and here it's also red. Now I'm going to get my beauty blender and just blend this in with my beauty blender. Somehow my nose just doesn't want to behave today. I don't know why that is. Too bad. Okay, we're going to jump into concealer. I have this little color correcting wand. I always use this. So I'm going to use this today as well because I just want to give them, what's it called? The concealer a fair chance. Just to calm down the dark circles under my eyes. I got this concealer, sorry, it was a dog barking. I got this concealer, it's in the same line as the foundation. It's the Lasting Breathable, lightweight, medium coverage concealer in Fair. It's the 100 shade, and it has this little cushion type thing. And you just squeeze the product out, and I did a little bit too much. So yeah, and then you apply it like so, just on the nose, on my chin. Well, just I think this is enough. I think it's a very hard cushion, so I don't really know if they think you should be blending that concealer out with that little cushion, but I wouldn't recommend that because it's really firm. I'll just use my beauty blender for this. It's very tacky, so it's the same with the foundation, and I think maybe that is because then the finish looks a little bit more natural and you have a feeling as if it's more breathable because it's not like this very thick dry paste on your face. So I understand why they did it. The only thing is you need to set it because of that, because I need to do that because I've got some lines underneath my eyes, and I must say it doesn't really crease that fast because right now I don't have any creasing, and normally I would have by now with some other concealer. I would, so that's a good thing. I am going to set it, and I'm going to use, I don't think this is a very big surprise. Where's my brush? I'm going to use the Stay Matte powder, this one. I've had this in my collection for a very long time. I don't really know if it's wise to use this thing as a setting powder or if it's easier just to use it as a touch-up powder. But that's the powder I have, so I'm going to use this. I'm using this very, I think very handy Morphe Y14 brush. I think originally this is a highlighter brush, but I really like to use it to set my under eye. So yeah. Then I'm going to use this BE Cosmetics 07 brush, and I'm going to really dig into this thing because it's a pressed powder. You really have to work it a little to get it loose. And I'm going to see if I can get rid of some of the tackiness, because we have to use some base products like bronzer, or not base products, bronzer and what's it called, blush and stuff to really work with this. Oh dang, before I forget, I forgot, I have a strobing cream instead of a highlighter, and you really need to apply that before you do your powder. Charles, I didn't think about that. I am going to finish up my eyes. I'm going to use the inner corner. No, I'm going to use the highlighter on my brow for my brow highlighter, the very white one. Why was that so complicated to tell you? I'm sorry. I'm going to use that color as my inner corner highlight, and then I'm going to take the olive green and smudge it out a little bit under my lower lash line, put some mascara on, and then I will be back. Okay guys, I finished up my eyes a little bit more. I used the very light shade as my inner corner. I must say I don't really enjoy it. It's not that opaque, but at the other hand it's really a bit too stark of a color. It's not blending out very nicely. I don't know, maybe it's more of a topper shade. I don't really enjoy that shade for my inner corner. The darker olivey green under my under eye, I think it looks really nice. I just put on some mascara and I spilled a little bit on my under eye, so I'm going to get rid of that when it dries up. And I think we should go on and go into brows. And for brows, I got this, I've already had this in my collection, so I didn't get a new one. This is a pomade and a powder product, sorry, and it comes with this very small little brush. I'm not going to use this because it's way too small. I am going to use my regular eyebrow brush for this, and it's just this little Brow This Way little compact. I think it's a very handy little thing to travel with and stuff. I'm just looking for my, here it is, my brow brush. It's just an angled brush by Boozy Shop. And I'm going to dig into the pomade first, but I want to brush my eyebrows, I'm sorry. I'm going to brush them through first, and I'm going to start with the pomade. They're a little messy. Okay, I'm going to just dig into this little pomade thing. I'm not really used to pomades. I always use either a pencil or a powder. Yeah, and I think the color is a bit too warm for my taste. So I'm going to very lightly brush this through, and then I'm going into the powder because I hope that's a lot less warm. Yeah, because seriously, I don't need to look like I have red hair. I don't. I've got quite cool tone hair, so it's really standing out now. Okay, done. I'm going to clean off my brush a bit. Hope that works with pomade. Yeah, it worked, it worked. And I'm going to dip into the powder and see what that does. Well, that's also really warm. Well, I think the thing is, it's just not the right color. It's not performing badly because it works really easily. It's opaque enough. You can, the pomade, I just use the inside of the lid to make my edges a little sharper like this. You get a sharper edge on your brush. So that works. It's just that the color is not good for me. It's too warm. And it's a good thing I'm finding that out, because I was wondering why I wasn't reaching for this after first applying it, and I just thought that I got too much other stuff I enjoyed more, but I think it's just because of the color. The color is not working for my brows. Well, good thing I have nice full brows already, because I'm not going to do anything more than this to them because it looks a little weird in my opinion. I'm going to brush them through, see if the product will disperse. Oh yeah, you can really blend the product out by brushing your eyebrows through, so that's good. It's not like you pack it on and it stays where it is. That's a good thing. Well, yeah, I've got very brown, warm brown eyebrows for a change. Yeah. Okay, let's go and do some bronzing action. I got this one. I'm going to show you. I'm sorry. I'm going to show you with the lid on. This is the natural bronzer. And I think a 022 Sun Bronze. This is the second shade in the line. The first one I thought was going to be a little bit too light for me, and the other ones were very dark and very glittery. So that is not something I would, like on my cheeks. I thought at first time when I used this wasn't really that. What's it called, opaque or very pigmented. That's the word, very pigmented. So I went in a little bit too heavy. I'm going to be a little bit more careful this time. I'm going to dip it in twice. I just used the Jaclyn JH02 brush for this, and I'm going to very much build this up because I don't want to have a stark line. Because it was really funny, I was really treading lightly and I was like, oh, there's not a lot on there. And then I was like, clink, and there was this. As you can see, there's already something happening there. And I think more of a blown out and blended out look for my bronzer is a lot more flattering than just this very harsh contour. So I don't want to do that. Also the foundation is very close to my shade. It's not making me very pale, so I don't need to bronze that much. And I think it wouldn't look very pretty if I do. So yeah, it does give you a nice amount of shade, as you can see, but also it warms up your face. So I'm really glad I picked this up actually. Next up is blush. I got this Maxi blush. There were two shades in the store I went to. There was this peachy orangey style. You can see it a little bit like this. This is peachy orangey color. It's a lot less bright on camera than it is in real life. It's very, very peach-like in almost a coral in real life. And there was also a very pink one. And I already have a lot of pink blushes, so I chose to go with this number. And it's the color 004 Sweet Cheeks. This is a very nicely pigmented blush, but because it has this very peachy color, it's going to blend into your bronzer really nicely. So I do tread lightly. I just do like this, shake it off a little, and start at the apples of my cheek. I've learned, I don't know from who this was, that you shouldn't smile like this and then put it on here, because if you put your face down, it drops. See? So if you are wanting to do the apples of your cheeks, then try to just aim a little higher than usual and not smile too much, because you're going to bring it down too much. Or you have to be very, what's it called? Disciplined to just stay on the top side of your cheeks. Yeah. So as you can see, it's a nice peachy shade. It also blends out really nice. So yeah, this is a very nice product in my opinion. Okay, and for highlighter, I have a Strobing cream. The last time I used it, I just dotted it on here, dotted it on there, and just tried to blend it out with my beauty blender, and that didn't work. So I just totally forgot about it. I wanted to put it underneath my foundation. I didn't. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take a little bit on my finger, then blend it out, and then just very gently, because it doesn't really want to blend out, and it gives your face a bit of a, you see, it's not illuminating at all. I'm already regretting putting it on, but okay. I was hoping that when I do it with my fingers and the warmness of my hands, it was going to blend out better than the last time. No, it doesn't. Guys, I should have used it under a foundation, because if I'm honest, it's not a very, can you see this? It's a very nice color. I'm going to see if I can maybe swatch it on my arm or something, because it's a nice color. It's not that, just doesn't want to blend out, and I'm not going to, you see, it's quite nice. It has a very nice sheen. Can you see it? I hope so. Maybe the lights are a bit too bright, but it has a very nice sheen. It feels almost wet on your skin, but the second you put it onto a drier base, like with powder, it doesn't work. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed that I forgot to try a different technique with this. There was a setting spray, and I was in the complete conviction that I got one, but I can't find it anywhere. So I think I didn't. I think I thought I threw it in my basket, but I didn't. So I'm going to use the Mario Badescu facial spray. This I think is just a skincare type of spray. It's not a setting spray in any way, but it makes your skin, or the, not top because it's dirty. Blah. It just makes your powders melt into your skin. So it does its job. The only thing I don't really like about this is that it stays a little tackier than I might like. But other than that, it does its job. I'm penning it at the moment, so yeah, that's why I wanted to use it. I'm trying to see if the highlight is already fixed. I think a little bit, but it gives you a little bit of a gray cast, doesn't it? case it's just my own fault. So I think I feel a little bit foolish knowing that I should have used the strobing cream differently and I didn't, but okay. Okay guys, that were all the products I bought for this video. It wasn't sponsored, but I'm going to go through them just very quickly to let you know what I think. I'm going to start with the eyeshadow palette. I think this is a very fun, very nice eyeshadow palette. You have some really nice colors in here. They're quite opaque. They work well. If they don't work with a brush, you can work them in with your finger. But to be honest, I don't really need to have them popping off my eyes because I think these are just satin shimmers. They're not claiming to, you know, jump off your eyelids. So I think it's enough just to use them with a brush. As I said, I've been using these in the video, but also I have been using these, all 4 of them. In a previous look, and they really performed really nice, and they're blues and greens. They're very hard to formulate, especially when they're matte. These are shimmers, but still. So yeah, they are really nice. It's a very fun little palette. It's a bit expensive. I think it was 16 euros, so that would be like $17–18. So yeah, I think that's a little bit pricey for a drugstore palette, especially because it's all shimmer. But yeah, it was okay. There are like 3 or 4 others in this line, in the Magnif'Eyes line. Emily and Noel, I think, checked them out and tested them a few months, maybe even a year back. She's really enthusiastic about them as well. So yeah, maybe it's worth your while. I would swatch them in store to see what is going to fit you. Then I'm going to go into the Soft Kohl pencil. This pencil I have been using for a while. I really like it. It is a very nice coffee-like color. So that is something I find is really handy because you can combine it with a lot of looks. It has a very soft formula. That is something to be aware of. The upside of that is that it's going to glide on your eyes really easily. The downside is that it's not going to have a very precise line unless you sharpen it in between. So you will run out of this a little bit more quickly. But I think it's a really nice product. I have no idea what it costs anymore. It wasn't that expensive, so I'm going to try and list it down below. But yeah, I think this is a very nice little pencil. Then the mascara, well, you know, you saw me applying it, you saw me complaining about it. It doesn't really do a lot for my lashes. It clumps them together. It doesn't really give them a lot of volume. They're falling down. This was not a success in my book. If you are blessed with fuller lashes and you like the dry formula because you get a lot of volume to your lashes, and you like this spiky, smaller spiky applicator, then yeah, maybe this is something for you. But I'm not a fan, I'm sorry. The foundation. The foundation is the 3rd time I am applying and using it. It looks really nicely on my skin. I think it has a very nice natural finish. The breathability, you can feel it. So I wouldn't say it's a very lightweight type of a thing. Maybe it's breathable because of the formula. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I have to say you feel it. And it stays a little bit tacky as well. So yeah, that's a thing. If it's going to last for 25 hours, I don't know. I'm not going to test that out because I think that's just a bullshit claim. You need it to last for 12 hours. So yeah, I'm going to see if that will be the case. And then I'm going to tell you down in the description box or in a pinned comment. So check that. I think the shade for me was really nice. I am an MW 22 and 20 in winter now in the MAC Fix Plus foundation. No, not the Fix Plus foundation, the Fix foundation, the powder one. So yeah, I think this is a really nice product. It is acting a little bit weirdly on my nose for some reason today. Usually it doesn't. It could be that I'm sweating a little bit more. So yeah, I wouldn't hold that against this. I think it's a really, really nice product. It's also a little bit more on the heftier price side. I think I paid 15 euros for this. So that's like $17 to $18. That's, I think, a bit high for a drugstore foundation. But yeah, I think it's, I don't think it's, will I say it's worth it? I don't know. I think it's just a very nice foundation and yeah, easily available at the drugstore. So yeah, it's for you to decide if you want to get it, yes or no. And I'm forgetting the primer. The primer I think is really nice. You should not use a lot because if you use a lot, it gets really tacky, and the foundation stays way more tacky because I had to really layer up this powder the last time I used it because it stayed tacky for a very, very long time. And now I just powdered once and the tackiness has gone a little. The Mario Badescu added a little bit tackiness back, but yeah. It also brought back some life to the skin, so that's okay. I think this is a really nice primer. The only thing I am a little bit bummed about is this. There's no SPF in this, but it smells a lot like the sunscreeny type of product. So yeah, it would have been nice to have some SPF in this one, but I think it's a very nice primer. I don't know if it does anything other than just smooth out your skin, but other than that, I think it's nice. Then the concealer, I think I really like this concealer. The first time I used it, it was like, it's way too tacky. It is emphasizing lines. It doesn't. It doesn't emphasize lines. It stays a teensy bit tacky, but because of that, it's not settling into my lines. I, of course, have powdered it, but normally, if I apply a concealer and I have to blend it out, then if I'm blending out this side is already creasing. So this doesn't do that. But I did powder it, and it looks nice with powder, especially when you use a mattifying powder like this. Considering that it's not even adding any moisture to my skin, but it looks really nice. It's not emphasizing. I'm sorry, I hate that word. It's not emphasizing any lines. So yeah, I'm quite impressed, and I think that the coverage is okay enough. I think maybe you can build it up a little bit more, but I think it's fine the way it is. So yeah, that's a good one. Also the Stay Matte powder by Rimmel. This is just a staple in a lot of people's collection, so I'm going to be very short about this. I really like it. It applied really nicely on my skin. I think it blended out really nicely. If for a mattifying powder, it's not cakey or anything like that. It really reduced the tackiness on my skin because of the foundation very quickly. So yeah, I think it's a very, very nice powder. I know a lot of people use this as a touch-up powder when your skin gets oily. The only place my skin gets oily is here because I'm sweating a little bit more. So yeah, I'm not really the type that is going to, touch up or anything. I'm not going to use this in my bag or take it with me, but it's a really nice powder. So this is something I would recommend to you getting, especially if you have oily skin. Then the foundation, I think it's a very nice color, not too warm. It adds a little bit of a shadow also, so you can bronzer with it. Tread lightly because it doesn't look that pigmented when you first put it on, but it can be deceiving. The last time I had this very big block of bronzer on my face and I didn't really like that look, but now because I just tread lightly and build it up a little bit more than I did last time, I think this really performs really nicely. So yeah, I think this is a very good, nice product. Same thing for the blush, also very pigmented, not too pigmented. I think the color is really nice, especially for summer. I like a bit more of a bronzy, peachy blush in summer, and I think it goes really well with the green. So yeah, this is a really nice blush, very big, so you're going to be enjoying this for a while. It blends out really nicely. I think I'm going to, because the Strobing cream is just annoying the bejesus out of me, so I'm just going to add a little bit more of the blush. Yeah, something like this, seriously. The Strobing cream, the thing is, it just doesn't want to blend if you put it on powder. And I have no idea what it's going to do if you just apply it to your skin and then put over your foundation, or put it on your foundation, or mix it in with your foundation. So jury is out on this one. I won't say it's a bad one, because if you saw on my arm that it has a very nice pinky hue. It stays nice and moisturized. It stays nice and glowy, but on powdered skin it just gets a gray mess. So if you're going to try this, don't use it on any powder type of product, because you just look gray. You just look gray without glow. That's what you just look gray without the glow. So yeah. The brow product, I enjoy the way you can apply it, because it went on really easily. It's just too red, and it's in the color brown, I think. Yeah, medium brown. It's too red for me, but I think it looks really nice, and it's easy to apply. blends out nicely. It's not too pigmented, but pigmented enough that you can get done really quickly. You can blend it out with a spoolie. So yeah, it's a very enjoyable product. If you have more of a reddish tone to your brows or to your hair than me, then yeah, I think this would be a good fit. But I need something with a little bit more of a cooler tone to the color. Okay guys, this was it for my full face of Rimmel video. If you have any questions about any of the products, then leave a comment down below and I will come back to you. All the details, prices, as far as I could check them and find them again, are down in the description box. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked what you saw and consider subscribing, and I hope I will see you in my next video. Bye!